Assalamu alaikum. Welcome everyone. Today we are opening the door to understand Arabic grammar by looking at the very building blocks of the language. In English, we break speech down into 8 parts. In Arabic, it is much simpler. Every single meaningful word, what we call a kalimah, can only ever be one of these 3 types. Let's look at our first slide. Chapter of the types of kalimah. Ism, which way corresponds to a noun. Fi'l, which way corresponds to a verb. Harf, which way corresponds to a letter or a particle in a sentence. So, if you can master how to spot the difference between these 3, you can analyze any sentence in the Quran or Arabic literature. Okay, so move on to the definition of these 3 types. Let's define each type clearly so we never confuse them. The noun, ism. An ism is a kalimah that explains its meaning all by itself. It stands alone perfectly. Crucially, it has no tense, no concept of past, present, or future attached to it. Think of example like Zaydun. Zaydun. Zaydun is basically a person's name. Specifically, it is a ism. Baytun, a home. Shajarun, tree. A tree does not happen yesterday or tomorrow. It just is. The second type of kalima is fi'l. A fi'l, just like an ism, makes complete sense all by itself. However, the game change here is that it must contain a tense, past, present, or future. Action is bound by a time. Okay, so what is discussing in the verb fi'l, action is bounded by a time. Okay, just understand this. Verb also has its meaning, but the action. So move on to the example of these verb. Kataba means he wrote. Basically, kataba is fi'l mazi in Arabic literature. Okay, you will gonna understand the verbs and its type in another series. First, you have to understand the definition of this verb clearly. Yaktubu means he writes or will write. Okay, so present and future tense is discussing in just the one word combinedly. Yaktubu. Jalasa means he sat, and when we gonna changes it to yajlisu, then the meaning of it will be he sits or will sit. Okay, I think you understand where the verb is. So move on to the next and the last type of kalima, which is harf. A harf is the dependent word of the family. Its meaning cannot be understood on its own unless it joins another word. Okay, if I walk into the room and just say min, from, or ila, to, you look at me waiting for the rest of the sentence. It needs an ism or fi'l behind it to unlock its meaning. Okay, so a harf is incomplete without a word. We have to combine it with an ism or a fi'l. Okay, so now let's look at the practice table together. Let's classify these words based on our definition. Okay, first word is dajajatun. It means a hen. Does it sound like a time bounded by a time period? No. So, and it has its own meaning, a specific meaning, so it's an ism. The requirement of ism are true here. Okay, Fee. Next is fee, which means in. Can it stand alone? No. In makes no sense without context. So it is a harf. Nadara. He saw. It's an action. And it happened in the past. That makes it a fail. Yeah. Khubzun. Khubzun. It means a bread. A bread. A delicious object. No tense attached. So it's an ism. Yashrabu. He drinks or will drink. It's a current or a future tense, meaning it has a tense. This is a fail. Ala, on, upon. It requires a companion word to clarify what something is upon. Therefore, it's an harf. To wrap our lecture, let's run through some core vocabulary from our reading slides. Try to define whether these are an ism, fail, or harf as we go through them. Souk, market, market. Souk, an ism. Safwan, safwan. Class, an ism. Arikatun, sofa, ism. Baladun, city, also an ism. Ahdur, be present. Be present. What is it? A fail. Okay. Watchman, Harrison, ism. Yaksiru, fail. Hadika, garden, ism. Iftah, fail. Qurrasatun, qurrasatun, notebook, ism. Okay.